Hi there, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba.
And I'm John Humphrey.
We're going to watch from one of my favorite channels today, Looper, predicting the biggest box office bombs of 2019.
Oh, boy.
But we're going to have to hold the phone on that reaction for just a second here, folks, because I am excited to shout out today's video sponsor, which is Skin It! Skin It is awesome. What these guys do is they make incredible premium vinyl decal skins for your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Nintendo systems.
Plus, they got stuff for your phone, too. If you've got an iPhone, an LG, a Pixel, a Galaxy, they have a variety of different cases, including waterproof ones.
But the best part is, and we're going to show you something. They offer cases and skins in a plethora of different designs. So I'm holding in my hand, thank you, Tyler Haig. I got this PlayStation 4.
Oh, boy.
Very recently. This is the example of what the bottom of a PS4 Pro looks like. But look what it is with the new Skin It Batman logo, people. Let's flick this up right there. We go. Look at that. That's badass.
And if you're gaming in the Stone Age like me, you can even get one for your Xbox 360.
Oh, yeah.
Or your PS3 or, Wii, what have you.
Mm-hmm. John, show them the laptop, though. This one I'm very much excited for.
Oh, yeah. Look out.
I have never wanted to go on Facebook more, people.
Nope. I've never wanted to get on the computer to stare at the back of the screen more. And I also got this nifty phone case right
Only
here.
John got it.
Little spider guy, little waterproof
John did
Spider-Man
not think
action.
to get one for me.
I really could have done more, I'm sorry.
So you can customize your phone or console with officially licensed brands such as Marvel, DC, Disney, Sanrio, which is my favorite company.
Oh, totally.
And more. And you know what else? They allow you to do your own custom designs as well. Custom skins, custom cases from your very own uploaded designs.
So guys, if you need a little extra protection for that phone or console of yours, or you just want to add a new splash of style, head on over to skinit.com and be sure to use our promo code RealRejects, all one word, and you'll save yourself 20% off your order.
20%.
Actually, I just got a message from the folks at Skin It, and they're going to bump that promo code up to 25%, so enjoy.
I think John owes me a phone case now with that Real Rejects promo code.
Hey man, Christmas is coming.
Thank you, Skin It. This is awesome.
Thanks guys,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
Seriously, this is
it.
really cool. I'm gonna get more.
I'm gonna just hug this all video.
It's often hard to tell which movies will be big hits and which ones are destined to flop, but the 2019 film calendar has a number of potential
That wasn't Cats,
major
was
duds
it?
in waiting. Be glad your salary
Like-
doesn't depend on any of these films making money, and get ready for a sneak peek at the biggest box office bombs of 2019.
Man.
Serenity certainly has a lot going for it. It stars A-list Academy Award winners Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway on screen together for the first time since Interstellar. But even their beautiful multi-million-dollar mugs are no guarantee it'll make bank. Sure, McConaughey has evolved from his rom-com and EdTV phase.
Who's in that? Bertrand Leon Reynolds Jr.'s in that, what?
But the reconnaissance has still been spotty at the box office. Unfortunately, Serenity will most likely continue this trend, mostly because the movie looks, well, indescribable. Weird movies are fine, but they don't lead to box office glory. And Serenity doesn't just look bizarre, it looks baffling. The trailers defy comprehension, and consequently nobody can tell what it's about. Moviegoers want to have at least some idea what they're spending their bucks on. Come January 25th, it probably won't be Serenity. On the plus side, its competition that weekend seems pretty light, but it's also going up against the second weekend of M. Night Shyamalan's much anticipated
That's gonna
Glass.
bomb.
That movie is about as mainstream as it
Or
gets,
be
and is a case study
da
on
bomb.
strange material. So no matter how much fun in the sun Serenity offers,
gonna
its outlook
shatter
doesn't look
records.
right.
Ooh.
Terminator,
Unbreakable.
Titanic, and Avatar auteur James Cameron is producing Alita: Battle Angel, a long-gestating sci-fi adventure based on a famous post-apocalyptic
I'm really
novel.
worried this is gonna
Meanwhile,
flop.
directing duties
I
go to
hope
former
it doesn't.
indie darling
I
film
am
Spy
too.
Kids creator Robert Rodriguez, who's helming the $200 million film adaptation. If you're getting a Last Airbender or Ghost in the Shell vibe from the trailers, you're not alone. Airbender made money, Ghost, not so much. Alita seems more like the latter, with its PG-13 rating likely to turn off fans of the violent source material while doing nothing to lure in the kiddos.
You made the biggest mistake of your life.
There's also Rodriguez, whose last film was 2014's mega turkey Sin City: A Dame to Kill For.
Damn, this is his last film,
Rodriguez
huh?
is notorious for stretching a dollar. He made his first movie, El Mariachi, for just $7,000. But this movie's budget is about 28,000 times that. It's one thing for your movie to make money because it was so cheap to produce. It's a whole different ballgame to turn a profit on a $200 million investment. Chances are you can look for this to bomb stateside when it hits theaters on
really hope
February
it does.
14th, with producers
Yeah.
hoping it'll perform well overseas. And if not, at least James Cameron has his 4 Avatar sequels to look forward to. So Captive State looks tremendous. Clever concept, compelling visuals, John Goodman, Vera Farmiga. Any one of those is enough to earn our money. Even so, it may not be enough to make this blend of horror and
this is
sci-fi
gonna-
action a hit.
this for
And
sure
you can
gonna
blame
flop.
it on scheduling. Captive State was bumped from August 2018 back to March 29, 2019, where it will go up directly against Tim Burton's Dumbo, the first of many Disney live-action remakes next year. Captive
it's
State
so
has a great
flop.
pedigree in Rise of the Planet of
Not
the
where he
Apes
put it.
director Rupert Wyatt, but high-concept sci-fi is hit or miss. For every District 9 or 10 Cloverfield Lane, there's a Jupiter Ascending or City of a Thousand Planets.
Federal agent on duty. Leave me alone.
Sci-fi's a risky bet even for the best versions, but against Tim Burton and an adorable flying elephant, that's tough. Captive State may have a chance at counter-programming, but only if it's really good. We've all been burned by incredible trailers for bland movies, so hopefully Captive State won't follow that trend.
few weeks.
You and I both know those days are gone.
Beware of Oscar bait movies that come out in the spring. As a general rule, Oscar season usually starts in the fall. With the notable exception of Best Picture winner Crash, springtime message movies rarely make a dent in the public consciousness, let alone the box office. Take The Best of Enemies, for example. Slated for an April 5th release, the film is about a civil rights activist played by Taraji P. Henson, who co-chairs a community meeting about school desegregation with a KKK leader played by Sam Rockwell. Surprising
playing another
nobody, the
racist.
experience changes both of their lives. It sounds like either a really saccharine made-for-TV movie or a really twisted SNL skit, but it's actually based on a true story. Henson recently
Doesn't sound
starred
that way
in
to
the
me.
Oscar-nominated blockbuster Hidden Figures, as well as the award-winning hit TV show Empire. Rockwell, meanwhile, recently snagged an Oscar for his supporting role in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and has consistently proven himself a versatile character actor. Hopefully, the star power will be enough to give The Best of Enemies a fighting chance at the box office. But more likely, The Best of Enemies will disappear from theaters just as fast as every other awards contender released in April. The New Mutants is about a group of teenage mutant superheroes who aren't turtles, so that's already a huge mark against it. Not helping matters is the confused genre splicing of horror and superhero action in what will be the 13th film in 20th Century Fox's X-Men franchise. Take a moment to consider how much of your life you've spent watching X-Men movies. To its credit, the series hasn't been overly cautious about mixing genres. The comedy superhero hybrid Deadpool spin-offs have made millions at the domestic box office and are the highest grossing films in the entire X-Men franchise. But those films had a huge plus
crazy.
factor in
I know,
their
right?
favor. People actually wanted to see them.
Join us. Use your powers for good.
Am I like
Heads up.
Be a superhero.
one of
The
the
reception for the new
3
Mutants
people
was
excited
much
for
more
New
muted.
Mutants?
I
The dark, murky,
was.
and dread-filled trailer even had some fans mockingly saying it looks like a DCEU movie, which are fighting words in the superhero genre. Is there really an appetite for a Hostile-esque X-Men movie?
yes.
Not long ago, Will Smith
What
was
is
starred
this?
in a dog shampoo commercial, and it would be a surefire hit.
That's
But a string of bad, bland, and just plain bizarre choices has damaged the Fresh Prince's bankability, and perhaps more importantly, his credibility. Which brings us to Gemini Man, which is being helmed by Ang Lee. More importantly, it reunites Smith with his bad boys and enemy of the state producer, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Now back up, put the gun down, and give me a pack of tropical fruit bubblicious.
The story, an older hitman faces off against a young clone of himself, sounds like a lazy Looper ripoff. Except Gemini Man was in development for 20 years before being greenlit.
Wow.
Maybe there was a reason for that? It certainly feels like a movie that would have been fresh in 1997. Gemini Man won't light the box
Or
office on fire.
3 years
which
ago,
is
right?
our basic case. Because when it comes to movies,
Not that.
there is life after death. It's called the TNT network.
Oh god, no. I remember that.
Here's the latest attempt to get the Terminator franchise.
Now, this
back
will
on
be
track.
good. I
You're probably
trust it.
thinking, wait, another one?
It'll make
Didn't
money, at
Terminator
least.
whatever bomb? It did. Terminator Genisys was a dud in 2015, in the US anyway. It made enough overseas to justify another trip to the post-apocalypse. Every new Terminator movie is basically another attempt to resurrect an aimless franchise.
I
Honestly,
have
the most
faith in
interesting
this.
thing this series
See
can do
this
is send
one.
the T-800 back in time to stop these movies from being made. And that's exactly what it sounds like is going to happen. T6 is supposed to be a direct sequel to T2, with Rise of the Machines, Salvation, Genesis, and the Sarah Connor Chronicles wiped from history. You can do that with a time travel movie, right?
I
Linda
heard Sarah
Hamilton
Connor
is even
Chronicles is
returning as
great.
Sarah Connor,
Everybody
and James
likes
Cameron
that.
is producing and contributing to the story. That's good enough for a little interest, and hopefully it'll be enough to save the film from bombing harder than Judgment Day.
I like list video jokes.
That's what it's like when films don't
Big
do well.
screen musical adaptations.
They are doing cats.
Box office. Sure, Chicago did pretty well financially, but you can't say the same for Rock of Ages or Rent. And while Andrew Lloyd Webber is one of the most valuable
Mary
names on
Poppins
Broadway
Returns,
in the West End, his
Greatest
film
Showman.
record isn't nearly as
Say,
impressive. Could Cats in that
Bohemian
string of
Rhapsody.
Mamma Mia.
It's based on one of his most popular musicals and features perhaps his most famous song, Memory. However, his most popular musical and Broadway's longest-running show was The Phantom of the Opera, which only scared up $51 million in change in U.S. theaters.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
also the fact it's coming out on December 20th, 2019, the same day as a quiet little indie drama currently known as Star Wars Episode 9. With that kind of box office competition, chances are slim that crowds will show up to watch a bunch of dancing cats.
I mean, The Greatest Showman did pretty well.
The Greatest Showman did do pretty well.
And Cats is a classic.
Cats is a classic. It's also
And-
kind of a theater meme.
Gotta disagree with Cats. Right off the bat, I'm disagreeing with Cats. If there's something that this past December has shown, which was a very overstuffed month, is that there's certain types of movies that will just do well. If it gets decent enough reviews, like
Yeah.
50 to 60% at least.
And was this footage they were showing from an actual trailer for this
I
film?
think
Okay,
that-
I was
I
going
don't
to say
know.
that.
Sure, is it going to beat Star Wars? No, but the thing that a lot of people don't keep in mind when it comes to these movies is the weeks it'll run.
Sure.
And it's going to run for a while. And musicals, December time, no one thought Greatest Showman would be a big hit, and it was, but it did terrible its first weekend, or mediocre.
Yeah.
And then over time, it became this sensational hit. And I feel like musicals usually have that chance. Like the big talk of December, this one has been Aquaman. But you know what? Bumblebee's making money. Mary Poppins Returns is making money. Into the Spider-Verse is making money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies making money right now.
Spectacles be making
Because
money.
Those weeks leak into January, which is usually a dud month.
True
so,
that,
you know,
true that.
and you need something more for the families, and then whoever's not going to be able to get a ticket for Star Wars that day is going to go watch Cats.
I feel like Cats could have some legs, just because there's so many factors. That's
What?
not, you know, cats have legs. I
Sort of doing every movie here.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
I feel like Cats can have some legs just because there's so many angles that you can approach that from. Because you can have like the morbid curiosity angle, you can have the like I'll go see anything Broadway angle, you'll have the people who just don't want to go see Star Wars angle. Like I feel like that one and Terminator will have legs of some kind. Like I don't think Terminator will be a flop.
I will go to bat for everything I've heard about Terminator 6. Like their pre-promo and pre-hype that they've been doing, I've been more than excited for it. And it's not even with like these nostalgia glasses that I have on. Oh, Linda Hamilton's returning and Arnold Schwarzenegger's back in it too. I'm excited for that, but I'm not like, that's what sold me on this movie. It was that 45-minute interview they did with it. Like when they get asked a question, it's not these vague answers. They really are thinking this through, and I trust them. If it's bad, I'll admit it. I've been let down before and admitted it. I just think it's going to be a nice surprise. Everyone's just comparing this because the franchise has been going downhill. Genisys was terrible, and now everyone's just, it's going to suck. You know, it's going to suck. There's no room left for it. But I just don't think this one will be like the last few installments.
I feel like it'll be different, and I definitely trust who is behind it. I think for me, what got me optimistic was the combination of that discussion with the vote of confidence that Linda Hamilton signing on brought to me, because James Cameron kind of took some of the weight of his name off when he was like, Genisys, great, people are gonna love it.
The new film, which in my mind I think of as the third film.
I'm cautiously optimistic about that movie. I feel like it'll definitely at least be better than the last several. But either way, I just don't think it'll be a flop. I just don't.
I think there's a lot of curiosity on this one.
And
I
you
feel
got
like
Linda
even,
Hamilton, and you had Halloween with like Jamie Lee Curtis.
I feel like
on.
even the hate that it's getting, I think there's still anticipation, even from the haters who don't want to admit that they kind of want to check it out.
Yeah, because who's involved makes you go, oh oh, but if they could do it,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Probably these people.
I have some faith in it. Gemini Man, I'm wondering why they're saying this would be a flop. Oh, just because it's a familiar plot to something like Looper or something like that. I mean, you got Ang Lee behind the camera, Will Smith leading it, and Jerry Bruckheimer producing. To me, that sounds like it's probably going to be an entertaining ass time. You know, it's hard for me to imagine that this wouldn't be something all that interesting. There was I Am Legend with Will Smith, and he was the only popular thing from that movie. Oh, yeah, that was like more than a decade ago at this point, or about a decade ago, I forget. Sure, Will Smith has made some pretty off choices. But when you hear that, when it's like a blockbuster, After Earth was the only blockbuster film he did. And that wasn't even like a typical Will Smith blockbuster, you know? I think when you do Will Smith blockbuster, you're gonna get a blockbuster. That's just the way it works, you know?
Yeah.
He's only had one major flop, and that was After Earth. Sure, he's done Collateral Beauty. He's done 7 Pounds. He's done his weird flicks. He's playing the genie. But I feel like Gemini Man's another one that'll be huge, or at least it'll make its money.
I can see the potential for it performing. I that's a weird mixture because Will Smith at the Megaplex is a bit of a contentious thing where it didn't used to be, and then like Ang Lee, I don't know where his clout is at anymore. The familiar concept, I wonder how people will take that, because like for me, I would probably see this and go, oh, it's a lot like Looper. Looper wasn't like the biggest film, so I don't think like the similarity will hurt its chance of performing.
No, definitely not. New Mutants, I am genuinely concerned about. I don't sit in the corner thinking it's going to be terrible, or I don't sit in the corner sold that it's going to be good. I have a lot of hope that it will be good, and my feelings primarily reside there. I feel like most of the X-Men movies are pretty damn good films, and I like the first trailer. I didn't know it got all this criticism at first because I genuinely liked it. The idea of going horror and having some like supernatural horror and then some body horror elements to it, that excites me. I think they can pull it off. I feel like they can if Josh Trank was directing.
Well, that's the thing, as long as it doesn't come out like a Frankenstein's monster, because I just don't know what to expect from that movie. It sounds like, in the past years we have had all this talk of like, what do reshoots mean? Are they signs of a terrible outcome? And no, it sounds like they've retooled this movie a lot since the last time we heard about it, and so that's what worries me now.
Because everyone fucking listens to like Twitter and stuff, No one just makes the movie anymore.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I totally disagreed though with the voiceover here. I was like, a horror superhero movie sounds awesome. The MCU, like, one thing they figured out was if you want to increase the longevity and interestingness of superhero movies, crash them into other genres. And so
out of all the current franchises, you have the Hellboy in the works, and then you have Spawn in the works, which are supposed to have these horror elements infused.
No, the Spawn trailer was going to be funny.
Yeah, it's going to be hilarious, the 80s music. You have those in the works. Out of all the current franchises that could actually produce a well-made horror movie, it's X-Men, because X-Men has always been about living in fear,
Yeah.
And even Logan has, it's not horror, but it's like post-apocalyptic type of vibe, that dread. New Mutants, I think, could pull it off. So I'm not in this corner hating on it because I really hope it'll be good.
Yeah, I just want it I just really want it to succeed. Yeah, because that's the thing is, like, I strongly disagree with the whole, like, if it's in any way serious, it must be like a DCEU film. I'm like, if your conceit is it's a horror movie, then I get it. Like,
yeah.
We all love the Brightburn trailer.
I've talked a lot about Alita on this channel. I'm genuinely, I think it's gonna flop. I just can't imagine it's gonna do well.
I get that.
I have hopes that it's gonna be that movie I walk out of going, it's a lot better than what a lot of people expected, and I enjoyed it.
That's what I want.
I feel like that's the best it's gonna get, though. Because as much as people seem to be really on board for its third trailer, because I love that third trailer. I thought it was the best one they've had. Simultaneously, though, there were 2 other ones.
2/3 is a
that
majority,
were just like, it looks cool, but I'm just not gripped by it. It's a hard thing to sell. It's got a beloved source material. It's got its fan base, but nowhere near the gravity of what Ghost. Like, I feel like everyone's heard the words Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell and Akira are the two that are like ubiquitous.
We've all heard those words. Alita Alita Battle Angel, I was like, what's this? I haven't even heard of this.
That sounds like a manga or an anime.
I have hopes for it because this was a passion project for James Cameron, and then he had to hand over the reins because he decided to do 25 Avatar movies. I didn't realize until they said it, like, oh shit, the last movie Rodriguez did was Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, which was forever ago.
Yeah.
Like a 5-year gap's long for Rodriguez, especially. For a guy who's just like tends to shoot movies in like a month and then edit it in a week and then do all the music.
Captain DIY over here. He's just been doing a bunch of El Rey Network stuff. He's just been taking a break to do Rebel Without a Crew, the show. It excites me that he's getting to do something this massive, but it is a strange choice,
Yeah, because his movies always have that vibe that this is a lot of DIY. I'm like, is he going to be able to find a signature style for this? Because right now it looks cool, it looks passable, it looks like it could be entertaining. I'm more concerned that it's going to be a bad movie as opposed to, I'm already sold it's not going to make money. I just wanted to at least get a good Rotten Tomatoes consensus or something, you know?
Because that's the thing too, is I feel like Rodriguez, weirdly enough, can work really well in an environment where it isn't just, you know, he's calling every shot and there are no rules and he can do whatever he wants. And sometimes that works out, but I feel like with limitations, sometimes that can be a good thing for Robert Rodriguez, because that's kind of what Sin City 2 showed me, was it's like...
That's what all his sequels do.
It's like
for the mariachi franchise.
They disappear into so much of what they're already trying to do that you're like, oh, let's temper this a little bit.
It gets carried away. Those are the ones that I felt compelled to really discuss here. It's a weird discussion never has. It's just like I'm kind of worried discussion.
Oh yeah, well, and you know, it'll be interesting to see how this list pans out. Bookmark it, because I am wondering if we'll get a full sweep or if there'll be some upsets in here.
The one I'm fighting for is Terminator. That's the one I'm fighting for.
Cats. Gotta make some of that money.
Go for it. We felt compelled to talk about the big blockbusters and cats.
And cats. Memories all alone in the moonlight.
All right, Reject Nation. Well, what do you think will bomb in 2019? And do you completely disagree with whatever we have faith in? Comment. You guys can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. And more importantly, use our discount code RealRejects, skinit.com, link in the description box for all kinds of good. Seriously, they have a whole bunch more designs. We even got some extra ones over here.
Yeah, man.
There's some great stuff. And it was
code RealRejects.
Like actually applying it was getting John and I giddy. Doing it was like, this is so cool.
So much fun.
Yeah. So do it today. Thanks, guys.